All right, so as we said earlier, prescription drug abuse is the use of a prescribed medication in a way not intended by the doctor. And clinical pharmacist Dr. Ernestine Watson joins us, and she's going to talk the dangers and breaking the habit. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
morning Delia. Good morning, Neville. Good to be here.
Doc, pain is not a joke thing.
It is definitely not.
Yeah.
And because of the intensity of that pain and the length of time persons can be going through pain, it's one of the drugs that are most easily cause of prescription drug abuse. And so the advice is that when persons are in pain, they should seek medical attention and they should be carefully monitored. Do not deny a person in pain medication, because then they will go seeking it elsewhere. And then that can give rise to abuse.
In most instances, what are some of the common things? Like maybe the pain, as you said, the pain is persistent. Maybe what you're being prescribed isn't addressing the pain as it should. So people feel they need to take more and more. Is that what?
Exactly, exactly. Pain causes action. It makes you seek help. And it's one of the reasons why persons will go to a doctor. For example, men don't visit a doctor unless they're in pain.
I know.
If anything else, but as soon as the pain starts, and
threshold low.
The
Whatever. Doc, is the addiction? So I'm in pain and I want a tablet to stop the pain. And the tablet stop the pain. So why am I addicted to it?
No, that's not the case. There are some persons who, because they have to be treating pain chronically, long-term treatment of pain may cause you to develop an addiction to the pain meds.
Yeah, but again, after I take it and it relieves the pain, why I need to take it?
Yeah, but then the body begins to depend on it, because sometimes some of the side effects, for example, the drugs that have codeine and opioid-based drugs,
so it might make a
they cause, in addition to relieving the pain, they also act on the reward system and makes the person feel good. So in addition to relieving the pain, then the body begins to develop a dependency, or once has an extra urge to have that medication.
So I take the medication even when I'm not feeling pain.
Exactly. And then what happens then is that the drug-seeking habits begin to come out. But there is another reason why persons will become addicted to prescription drug medication. The hypnotics, in addition to the pain meds, those that cause persons who suffer from insomnia, persons who suffer from anxiety, they need to be treated, and if they are not properly treated, they can develop addictions as well. And those like the benzodiazepines, those drugs that they would come to the pharmacy and ask, they say, you know, they can't sleep or they are anxious, and they have all kinds of ways. They copy the prescriptions, they duplicate the prescriptions, they go to several different doctors and fill at several different pharmacies, all kinds of ways to get to the medication.
Yeah, so sometimes, as Neville said, it's not about the pain, it's about the feeling that you get after taking some of the pain.
And because the threshold rises, so what happens is that initially 1 or 2 tablets will give you that high, and you're always wanting to get to there, but you need more and more medication.
It relaxes you. I mean, I took a muscle relaxant once. When I took it, I was like,
oh yes, but usually the muscle relaxants are not the ones that they are addicted to.
All right, so let's talk about what are the typical ones.
The typical ones are the opioid-based ones. Okay. So as I mentioned before, those like your
Vicodin,
exactly, oxycodone. In addition, you have the benzodiazepines, which are the hypnotics, sedatives, hypnotics, and the other ones are the ones that cause you to have increased sexual stimulation.
Which ones was that?
You have heard they have local names for them, but it is actually the tricyclic antidepressants. So those group of antidepressants, like your anafranil, your imipramine, those can cause, in addition to feeling good, it can cause arousal. And so that causes seeker habits as well.
I've never seen Omawale leave the camera.
I was just about to say, when you said that, everyone at the cameraman them come beside the camera. I said, where them name?
This is ridiculous.
Serious thing. I was just about to say that.
Is it important then, and I think I asked it in another way, for the medical practitioner and the pharmacist, because sometimes people go to their pharmacist, to recognize that there is an issue.
Oh, yes.
And not just overlook it, not just say, you need to stop taking them. Because if you're addicted, it's not going to stop. So what's the importance?
It's important that they get medical attention.
Yeah.
So, for example, we recognize seeker habits, or we also need to educate. Education is very important. Education for those at the home, education for the general public. So, for example, in a home, persons can become addicted to even prescription drugs that are not in that category. We have the grabber, the hand grabbing. So, usually practice among teenagers where they will mix all different types of medication and take it in order to try to achieve a high.
Wow.
So persons on prescription medications should store their medications properly. If at the pharmacy, if you see a person coming with an excuse to have a prescription filled, or they have a prescription that is a copy prescription, you have to be very careful. You have to examine the prescription, because sometimes they even alter the length of time. So the prescription may have been given for 2 weeks and they will change it to 6 weeks. They see the actual changing. They change the name on the prescription.
What?
Many different ways. So
how do you deal with a situation like that? If a patient comes in and you see that it has been altered and you recognize that there is a challenge, what do you do?
That prescription is not no longer a legal tender. So we are obliged not to fill that prescription because it's not legal.
But
for the patient, however, you would seek to get information for the patient and try to direct the patient to get medical attention.
Right.
If those don't work and you see the patient repeatedly coming, then we report the patient to either the pharmacy council or to the medical council as a possible, or the National Drug Council of Abuse, yes.
To get them off the addiction, to wean them, for want of a better word.
They need professional help.
Yeah, but how you give them what?
Well,
how you treat that?
Well, usually there are drugs that will be prescribed by your psychiatrist.
So you give them drugs to get rid of the drugs?
Some, like for example, in some opioid-based addictions, you have to give them a drug. If it is, well, coming off of prescription drugs, if it's alcoholic addiction, then you have to give them a drug as well in order to treat them. But it is best that the patient be treated by a competent physician who will, because it's a long term, it means behavior modification, lifestyle changes, education, as well as drug therapy.
I don't know if you know, but is it prevalent that we have a lot of folks that are doing this? I know we had a recent case with Tiger Woods. It was saying that he had...
Well, internationally, there is a major issue with opioid-based addictions.
Opioid-based, those drugs treat...
Those drugs...
Treat what?
Pain.
Not just regular pain, it's not specific...
They treat pain.
Just any kind of pain?
Management of severe and chronic pain.
Okay.
Right? And so a lot of persons, there are reports and the statistics show that there is an increasing number of persons who show addictions to opioids.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for coming down.
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
Great to see you. Clinical pharmacist, Dr. Ernestine Watson. 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday. Morning, Londia. Maybe I should say afternoon.
10 minutes to your health.